with tariffs, inflation, war, everything in Toronto is starting to become more expensive. Eggs, groceries, cars, stocks, pretty much everything has become more expensive. But what's actually become less expensive? Real estate. I'm Boanka with the Compass team.
And it's Safraz with the Compass team.
And today we're going to be talking about how the price of real estate has become cheaper, not only from an average price point of view, but also from a rates point of view. So, the first thing that we really want to dive into is we're going to talk about February of 2022. This was, when the market was booming, homes prices were super high, everybody was buying, and we had interest rates that we had never really even seen before. They were so low, and it was to kind of fuel the economy and to get people buying. Now, in February of 2022, the average purchase price was 1,334,000. And again, interest rates were like super low. What we're gonna go off of today is 3.3%. Now, the monthly payment on that property with 20% down is going to be 5,216. Now, Safras, let's talk about this time a little bit before we dive into where we're at now.
Yeah, so that was, obviously COVID time. So they had a lot of interest rate cuts. You know, you were seeing a cut 1%, 0.75, 0.5. And we got so that people were like, free money. You heard that term a lot around that time. Everything was free money. Yeah. Are you going to use your money because it's free, which is to borrow? Or, are you just going to save it in a savings account? You're about to get 0.1%. So what were people doing? It was also COVID time. People were, locked up in their homes. They don't want to be, in confined spaces. So what did people do? They went out to go buy houses.
Yeah.
And then because of that, January, we saw a little bit of 2022. You'd see the 5 offers, the 7 offers, typical. But that February, we were seeing homes sell on average, like in good areas, less than 24 hours. And we're talking 10, 15, 20 offers. Like if you didn't see it within 24 hours, you're not getting that house. And it was not just the best houses. Usually it's the best houses that get. We're talking everything, pieces of scrap. There was a house that was in Paper and Danforth. I think it was like 12 and a half feet wide. That's the house. When I say 12 and a half feet wide for a house, it's like, and the walls take up half of the space. You're just getting a little hallway. That sold for over $1 million. It with like 30 plus offers or something of this sort. Like it was like, we called it hysteria. People going hysterical over real estate.
Yeah, this is a different time. This was a crazy time. And another thing too is like the news. The news heavily fueled things as well. But I do think with people not spending a lot of money and also being stuck in your home, you realize everything that you don't like about your home, and you're like, okay, let me go get some sort of a better home. But what ended up happening was the Bank of Canada, the government, they slammed on the brakes. They said, you know what, this is getting out of hand. What we need to do something to slow it down, and they just started increasing rates faster than we've ever seen before. And within no time, the overnight rate was at five basis points.
And they went up faster than they cut, which was also crazy. The first interest rate hike was 1%. And when you say 1% on a mortgage, that's a huge amount of money. So people saw, if they're on a variable rate mortgage, their mortgage payment was just going boom, boom, boom. And it was not just one increase. It was every time they had one, it was just boom, boom, boom. So we saw a huge increase in rates from 3%, and you mentioned the 5%. Some people, if they were on variable, they got up to 6.9, 6.8% interest on a peak purchase price.
Yeah.
Which you couple those two together, right?
So you're in a tough place.
You become in a tough place.
So now let's fast forward to April of 2024, which was not too long ago, a little over a year ago. Prices dropped, right? After February 2022, come to about July 2022, prices start to drop. They start to come a lot lower. And now in April of 2024, the average price is almost $200,000 less at $1,156,000. Now the interest rate, you're looking at around like 4.7, but the monthly payment. So because your interest rate is higher, but the average price is lower, again, with 20% down, your monthly payment is $5,250. Basically the exact same thing, but you're buying the home at a lower price. So it's still, you're still winning if you're bought in April of 2024. So now let's talk about April of 2024. I don't think there's as much to talk about because it was a very slow time still. But let's talk a little bit about this time.
So yeah, definitely a lot slower. Typically, historically, spring market, right? March, April, May. It's always a hot time. Everybody's out looking. They want to move in before the summer so that, school time, September time, everybody's locked in to a new home and settled in, right? But April 2024 was still different. Rates, they kind of teetered off a little bit. They weren't at their, 6.8%, 6.5. They did come down to, 4.7, in and around there. We were seeing more homes sell, right? Instead of now doing or not selling at all. They were selling. They definitely were selling. I would say a lot of the homes that we were looking at with our clients, within the 2-week, 14 to maybe 21 days, 3 weeks, they were selling. But one thing, we just mentioned the price and the rates coming down. One thing we say is, you marry the home, but date the rate. Because as you could see, in February of COVID time, yeah, the rates went down so low. But you shouldn't be changing your house just because the rates went down. And the same thing, you should find what you can afford. And when the rates go up, you have to stick it out a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was still a good time to buy in April of 2024.
Yeah.
And the people who were buying then, I'm sure they are winning. But again, with real estate, we always talk about it. It's usually you have to have a 5 to 10 year mindset when you're thinking about real estate. Like, you don't really want to look. Some people literally buy a house and every 3 days they're looking at like, what's selling, what's my neighbor selling for, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not looking to do anything, don't bother yourself with it because it's just gonna do nothing except stress you out. Whether it goes up and you're like, oh, you know what, maybe you feel good because your home, you feel like your home is more valuable, or if it goes down, you feel bad because you feel like your home is less valuable. If you don't plan to do anything, it doesn't really matter kind of where you're at. So 5 years, 10 years, yeah, you don't have to check in every 2 seconds. But so now we fast forward to where we are now, August 2025. The average price has dropped almost over 300,000 since February 2022. The average price is just over $1,022,000, and the interest rate keeps coming down. September 17th, we just had another cut, and the Bank of Canada cut it another 25 basis points. So we are seeing the interest rate come down. Now, you mix the average price with the interest rate cuts, and what are we getting? We're getting a lot lower monthly payment. So your monthly payment on that $1,022,000 home is going to be $4,278, which is $1,000 cheaper. So you're still getting the average home, but you're paying $1,000 less every single month, and $1,000 in your pocket every single month. That's a big difference. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it goes. It's when we're talking averages here, so it entails the same house. So basically, if you look at it, the same house. If you took, 123 Main Street, the same house is now $300,000 cheaper. Number one, again, you love the home, but you date the rate. So it's $300,000 less. Rates are 3.95. It just came down a little bit, so maybe you're in the 3.7s, but you're also saving $1,000 a month, which is incredible because long term, especially as the Bank of Canada announced 2 more rate cuts. They anticipate, not the Bank of Canada, economists, anticipate 2 more rate cuts before spring of 2026. So, if you look at what we're talking about here, it looks like you're going to get a $300,000 save on the purchase price, but you'll also be very similar interest rate to around that time and saving $1,000 a month.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the main reason why we're saying it's a great time to buy. And some people, they may not agree that it's a great time to buy, but these are the reasons why we say it's a great time to buy. And which brings us to our next point of you cannot time the bottom. Nobody cannot time the bottom. But what we do know is it's better to buy on the way down than on the way up. Because on the way up, there's going to be lots of competition and there's going to be the prices are going to be increasing and some FOMO is going to start to kick in. On the way down, you have time. You can go out, you can look at the place, you can negotiate. There's not going to be multiple offers. And there's not multiple offers until there is multiple offers. So it's not like you can just wait and you can just time it. It doesn't work like that. It's just one day there's multiple offers on everything.
Yeah. And, you know, talking about multiple offers, going back to, you know, February 2022, and even I would say spring 2017. So that was the only other time that I personally saw the hysteria where things were just going crazy. So in February 2022, you know, in January, like January is usually slow until the end of Jan, so February 1st. But like I was showing houses maybe the first week of January, they were selling 1 offer, 2 offer. Average price. You take a December comp, you're like, okay, the market is the same, you go. And then, you know, I was seeing, like, oh, this one had 5 offers in a day. Like, oh, okay. Then I was seeing, oh, this one has 10. And then I saw 20, 30. Like, it was like a couple of days over. And, you know, people were the previous week, just because, you know, if you're competing against 30 people, you see that it's like a mental thing where you see that there's demand in the house. So you're like, all right, let's go crazy on it. So whereas in now, like we've shown so many properties and like barely like most people, especially in the condo market, you're lucky to get an offer at all. But even in the freehold market, it's taking a lot longer. You're getting a lot better prices and the rates are coming down. So it's like, you know, the trifecta of what good value is long term. We're again, you know, we're going to talk 10-year term. You definitely will be winning, especially with rates coming down. And when markets pick up, like, then it's going to be a I told you so kind of moment, you know?
Yeah. And the last thing to kind of back this up, if you look at the graph over time, the 4-year graph, on average, the Toronto real estate housing prices, they go up by 6.7% each year. Now, what we can see is since the peak of the market, since that time we talked about February 2022, that number has dropped a lot. And we are way below the line. If you draw a line from the beginning until where we are now, we are way below that line. And things like that, these are the indicators that help us say we think right now is a great time to buy. But I would say that the best thing, not including the money, is that you get the exact house that you want. You can go in all these different houses, find what's perfect for you, get it at a great price, and it's perfect for you. Whereas other times you might have to, you know, kind of buy under duress, or, you know, you're more frantic, you're more hustling and running to get into a property. Whereas right now, everything is in your favor when it comes to buying.
Yeah. Before, you know, you have to be like, oh, this was before you'd have a nice to have list. Whereas now, unless it's something very unique, you could definitely reduce the nice to have list and just make it a I must have it kind of list, which is the difference versus, you know, even 2024 and 2022 and in the past.
Yeah. So again, this is kind of breaking down where the market was February 2022, comparing it to kind of where it is of August 2025. I mean, we've seen a $300,000 reduction in the average price, and your monthly payments are $1,000 less than they used to be on that same exact house. I mean, there's a lot to win from. If this is something that you agree with, give it a thumbs up. If you disagree with it, leave us a comment and let us know why you disagree with it, and we will make another video and talk more about that. But that's it for today. We'll see you guys again on the next one. I'm Boanka with the Compass team,
And it's Safraz with the Compass team.
and we're looking forward to see you guys next time.